Hi, it's your friend Jen McKenzie, K-12 District Teacher Librarian in Sayusa School District out of Florence, Oregon, and Conference Co-Chair for this year's Fall 2021 OASL Conference. This video is all about this magic, this year's Conference Journal Makerspace Kit. And this comes in your mailer. I'm going to do a little unpacking of the mailer in just a second. And inside of this journal that you're going to bind together, you get some lovely binding thread and a needle, as well as some fabulous Peerless watercolors. So get registered. You won't get your mailer of magic in time if you don't register soon. Okay, so get registered for a conference. Let's do a little unpacking of this magical mailer we're all getting. All right, here we go. Not only is this mailer awesome, it comes in awesome packaging. I love teal. I love blue and teal so much that I'm wearing blue ocean masks this school year, okay? So let's open this up and see what's inside. Ooh, there's that conference journal that we're gonna bind together in just a second. Also inside the mailer is a free book, Say What? By Dennis Matthew, one of our featured authors of the conference. Next up, we have unicorn puppets. What? We're gonna end the day with Kelsey Bogan, and we're gonna have a little TikTok challenge to make a unicorn puppet and advertise your library with it. And our other Makerspace kits are circuitry, paper circuitry. We're going to try to light up our conference journals. And then last but not least, you're going to get a bag of something, beans, grain, what have you, so that you can create a percussion instrument and play along with Dennis Matthew if you choose to go to a session. All right, so let's actually do some binding of this journal. And I am going to do a share screen and show you a couple of slides before we do that. So now everyone should be seeing these slides. So in my spare time, I do a lot of art journaling, and I love considering technology and circuitry as an art supply. So here's a sample of one of my journals where I bound a journal together. I did art throughout. I wrote a story. And that light at the end of the book is part of the story, okay? So we are going to, during our sessions, you have the option of lighting up your journal. But what I'm gonna show you right now is just a super simplistic, super basic way to bind paper together to make a book or a journal. And I use this all the time in the library because we have a plethora, an infinite supply of really amazing materials to bind together all of those weeded books that we're pulling out of our libraries. They are perfect for makerspace activities. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And really, we are going to make a loop. Okay, we're going to punch 3 holes, one in the middle, one about an inch or so from each end. And then you can have your little tails hanging on the outside of the book or the inside of the book. But once you punch those 3 holes, you're going to just go up the middle hole, circle around, down the other outside hole, and then back through. Okay, so it's just one big loop. All right, so let's get to it. And here we go. So in your journal, you have information, some interactive sheets inside that are going to ask you to think about your library lifeline and interact with the sessions and take notes on the speakers and brainstorm for the school year and collect, ideas from all your colleagues at the conference. And then you should get some rando book pages I weeded from our Sayusa libraries as well. And like I said, you have that Peerless watercolor palette you can set aside for now. But then you get a nice needle and some bookbinding thread. So when you're, and I have links to all this stuff on the Padlet supply list from Amazon and what have you. When you are purchasing needles, you do want a nice solid needle with a big eye. And then you can get all sorts of fun, cool bookbinding thread. It's waxy. Okay, so it's easier to use. So it's this waxy bookbinding thread. And honestly, if in doubt, you know what works perfect that everyone has in their homes, or you should, is some dental floss. Then your journal will smell nice and minty as well. When you are measuring out how much bookbinding thread you need for your journal, you usually measure one length of the size of your journal, 2 lengths, and then a little extra, and that's all you need. And when you are going to, actually, let's do this first. Let's poke holes. So usually I have an awl to poke holes, but I'm guessing all of you may not have awls in your homes. Maybe you do, I don't know. So I may pre-poke these before mailing them. Otherwise, let's see if we can just do this with a little pin. Everyone should have a push pin. And before I say that, I do tons of art journaling, and I do like junk journal style art journals. So I'll have some like nice watercolor paper, and then some funky book pages. And then like when I'm traveling with my niece and nephews, I always make these when I travel. We'll collect brochures from where we're at. I mean, I'll take, you know, random stuff and tape it inside. I grabbed some stuff off my desk. So I like, you know, I had some stuff sitting around in my desk, little doodads and doohickeys. If you want to add any extra pages, like be super creative and do so before you bind them together. Okay. So we said we need to punch a hole in the middle and towards each side. So once you get all your pages in there that you want, you're going to push a hole through. And it just needs, see how I'm wiggling it around? You just need something big enough that you can get that bookbinding needle through. And then you kind of hold it tight. Some people will like clamp their pages together so they don't shift around. So there's my top hole. And then here's my bottom. Okay. All right. So we've got those there. Actually, I'm going to leave this in the middle, holding my spot until I get my needle threaded. To thread your needle, especially with this wax thread, it's always easiest if you take the tip and just kind of flatten it like I'm doing here. And then it'll be nice and easy to thread that needle. All right, there you go. So you're not tying a knot or anything. You're just going to hold tight. That's the beauty of this wax thread. Just hold tight. And you'll just make sure to not pull your end through as we are binding our book. So again, we said we're doing just one big loop. So we're going to go up the inside, come around, go up again, and come back down. It's just like one big loop-de-loop. And you can have your tails. I always do my tails on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to start here if I want my tails on the inside. If you want your tails on the outside of your book, you can start on the outside. And some people will leave those tails dangling and put like little beads and stuff on them. Okay, so here we go. Got my thread. I'm going up. Ooh, the push pin works great. I don't have to pre-punch anyone's journals. I might have to tug a little. So I'm going up and through. There's that tail. I'm going to just hold it and make sure I don't pull it all the way through. Then I'm going down. And sometimes you lose where that hole is. You just have to find your way. Whew, that one's a little tougher to get through. Okay, so I went up, down. Next, I'm going to cross the middle, and I'm going to go back up. And then I'm going to finish up by going back down the center here. Okay. All right, rewatch that if you need to. And then you can tighten your journal, tie a knot once, tie a knot twice. All right, and trim your little edges, ends. There you go, snip them off. And you are set. You have a rad, awesome, interactive journal for our 2021 Fall OASL Conference. So get registered, people. It's going to be a blast. We have so many fabulous sessions planned and all these interactive Makerspace kits throughout. I'm super excited to see you Saturday, October 9th from 8 to 4:30. And all the sessions are recorded, so you can register and have access to those sessions. Okay, thank you. See you there. Bye.